Hi guys, welcome back to Fbmfox. In this video, we're going to interview Dustin and Rachael from the 10-minute Workday. They've sold over $250,000 in 2021 alone across many Facebook stores. And in this video, we're basically going to pick their brain about Facebook Marketplace and shops. And near the middle and end of the video, we're going to show you guys how you can get Fbmfox for free. The $50 per month plan, you can get it for 1 month for absolutely free if you are a beginner. So if you're a beginner, this video is going to be extremely valuable to you, and hope you guys enjoy this interview. Hi everyone, welcome back to Fbmfox. In this video, we have two great sellers, Dustin and Rachael, who have reached out to us, and they've supposedly automated their business, their dropshipping business, to where they're working 10 minutes per day. They also have a family, and they're new sellers, relatively new sellers. They've only been in this game for about a year, and their growth is just rapid and it's phenomenal. And their growth arc and their trajectory is phenomenal, and the stuff that they've done in a year is amazing. So, we receive a lot of questions, a lot of inquiries from users of Fbmfox, and I always like to pick, sellers like Dustin and Rachael. I like to pick their minds on the questions that you guys give to us, right? And I just kind of, in this video, we're just going to listen to their story and how they built what they've built in such a short period of time. And we're gonna ask them questions that we all have all the time with Facebook's chaos, and we'll see where this interview goes. So it's really nice to see you guys. Hope you guys had a great new year.
We sure did. It's awesome connecting with you and just having this chat.
For sure. So what did you guys do before e-commerce, and when did you get in e-commerce?
Yeah, so Dustin just worked like a normal 9 to 5 job as a salesperson selling HVAC equipment. And I stayed home with our 2 little kids. We have a 4 and 2-year-old. And I believe it was June of 2020. Yeah. So about a year and a half. I saw like this random Facebook ad about how to sell online. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is be life-changing. And I showed it to Dustin and he's like, what scam is this? But we quickly like saw how real it was, and our eyes were open to this entire new world of being able to make money online. And that just changed our life. Within 9 months of taking action and like growing every day, he was actually able to quit his 9 to 5 job. And so we've been doing this full time now for, is that what, 9 months now?
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So you started in June. Why did you guys start? How did you stumble upon it, basically?
We were in a situation where, we were stuck in the rat race financially. We were ready to get out, and I really didn't enjoy the job I was doing at all. And we just wanted to have the freedom to be able to go where we wanted to go and do what we wanted to do, spend more quality time as a family and as a couple, and be a blessing to other people in our lives. But we were just tied down. We couldn't do that. And we were desperate to make a change. And so
yeah, we were desperate I guess the word desperate's a little dramatic, but like, I knew I didn't want to leave my kids and get a job and be away from them all day. And it's actually amazing how we're both home with our kids full time, which is just amazing. And so we're just like trying to find ways to make money online. And I think that's probably a search most people do on Google. Like I was like Googling how to make money online, and nothing looked like a good fit. I was not going to sell something to all my friends. I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. And so finding e-commerce where no one even has to know what you're doing and you can make a living is just like amazing.
Did you guys try other types of businesses like affiliate marketing or YouTubing and things like that? Did you guys try any of that before?
No, we didn't try any like affiliate marketing, those types of things. Alongside drop shipping, we've done Amazon FBA, and we still do Amazon FBA, but we got passionate about Facebook Marketplace because we had no capital to really start a business. And a lot of online businesses, it does take capital. And that's what we didn't have. And so when we found Facebook Marketplace drop shipping, that's when everything changed for us, because we were making so much money without spending money.
Right. So when did you start Facebook Marketplace drop shipping? When would you say?
Would be September of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, about September.
September. Wow. So that was really early. How did you stumble upon that?
Actually, a crazy story. So we were doing Amazon FBA, and I had a product on Amazon and it wasn't selling the best. And so I just like randomly put it on Facebook Marketplace.
Mhm.
And this was before I had the multiple option. Like I could only list like one quantity at a time. And so like I woke up the next day and I was like, oh my goodness, Dustin, I sold a chicken print on Facebook Marketplace. And so I had to like relist it. And
Mhm.
like 15 minutes later, I sold another one. And then I was like, what? And so like I had to relist it. And I'm like spending like all day relisting, the item. And it was selling like repeatedly. And so we just like started sharing in our community. And so other people started doing it, to the point where this guy came in and like actually taught us how to do Facebook drop shipping. And because of everything that was going on with everyone selling stuff on Marketplace, and it was like an hour-long video, and just kind of like the overview of, this is the business model. You take products from here, list it over here. And a bunch of us like really had no idea what we were doing, but we started making sales left and right, to the point that we were making a lot of money.
Right. So you said a community, you were part of a community. Can you expand a little bit on that?
Yeah, so we joined the Rainmakers. Maybe you've heard of them. It's an incredible community. A lot of like stay-at-home moms, but we have all sorts of different people in there. We have dads, single guys, like you name it. But this is just an incredible environment that really promotes you to grow in your business. And we really focus on Amazon FBA, but more recently we've been helping people who were kind of in our position of having no money to invest, to start off with drop shipping, to gain some capital to invest in, other business endeavors.
Cool. So when you guys, started this kind of business that maybe it was going to work out, maybe not, maybe it could turn to nothing. Did you guys prepare like financially, and, was it like a major risk that you guys took, and how did that feel? And, how did you kind of get through that doubt and uncertainty period?
It really took a mindset shift for us, and we were determined to make this happen. And so I actually sold my pickup truck, and that's how we got into e-commerce. And what's amazing is, if we had known about Facebook Marketplace at the time, I never would have had to have sold my pickup truck, because we would have had tools to generate revenue and things like that. But that's why we're just so excited about the opportunity to do this.
Yeah. And like you said, the mindset shift, that was so huge for us. And it took joining the Rainmaker community for that mindset shift. It took people we trusted to open our eyes to the opportunity, because I think, especially like our culture, it teaches you that you have to work like a 9-to-5 job, and that's success. Like climb the corporate ladder. And so to be told that there's other ways to make money, it's not normal, and you have to like relearn your thought process. And Myron Golden is someone who has had a lot of impact in our lives and in the Rainmaker group. And he talks about the 4 levels. Level 1 is you're the person doing the thing. So you're the person, mowing the yards or doing whatever it is. You're the person doing the thing. But that next level is the person managing the people doing the thing. And that the ladder goes up 4 levels. And those mindset shifts, those were so huge for us to realize, like, we can do this. Like, we can have a change on our financial situation. We don't have to be stuck in the rat race.
When did you first make like your first sale? How long did it take again?
Oh man, that's been a while. So like the initial, like my first Facebook Marketplace listing was shipping. Like I sold stuff around our house. But I mean, it was like the same day for like my product I listed to Marketplace. And then within 4 months of that, we hit $100,000 in sales from Facebook Marketplace.
Right. That's cool.
And that was drop shipping.
Yeah, that was drop shipping.
Okay. So Dustin said that he had to get rid of his pickup truck, but that was for FBA, right?
Yeah, that was for Amazon to join the mastermind, to do all that. And that was probably the best decision we've ever made, investing into that, because
Right.
that's where we had so much growth, and that growth has to come first before you can see financial success.
So you guys are still doing FBA while doing Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Shops, and all this stuff while having a family.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
Amazon is like really passive, but it just, again, it takes capital and
right.
it takes a lot of upfront time. So we love Amazon if you know what you're doing. But it's not it's not cheap to get into, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's fantastic because one would think that if you were to put many hours, you can only do like one business. And maybe if you automate one business, you can't do other businesses. But in your example, you have multiple businesses. And diversification is amazing. And especially because it's not, the other products are your own, right? So it's not like a drop shipping thing, which is fantastic. So do you guys do this part-time or full-time now? What I guess
Yeah.
10 minutes per day is kind of like part-time, but in case you got to work more, is this your full-time thing?
So 10 minutes per day is all we spend on Facebook dropshipping anymore. We work full time. Well, I mean, both almost full time. We both help, do the kids and stuff like that. But
we're full-time parents.
Full-time parents, yeah. Right. And we're building other businesses. We have our hands on a lot of different things. Obviously, Amazon, but it's crazy because in terms of Facebook Marketplace, we've automated to the point where I think we did one of our worst months ever in December, and we did $4,000 passively. Profit.
That was profit after everything, like, and he's working 10 minutes a day on it. I am just like checking in, like, hey, is everything going good with that? Or like, I'll look at different things. It's so, like, the weight of marketplace is lifted off us. I used to spend like hours fulfilling orders. Like I'd have like 50 orders to fulfill, and like I'd put the kids to bed and spend from the time they went to bed to like 2 a.m. like fulfilling orders, like listing manually all these different products. And I was killing myself, but we were making like so much money. Like he said, like that was our worst month ever, just because a few things happened, but we still made over $4,000 profit, literally hardly spending any time on it. And that's our goal. That was our focus and our goal, and we accomplished that.
When was this? Sorry, I think I forgot.
Yeah, just this last month in December.
Oh, okay.
And we'll talk more about like why those numbers were so bad.
Yeah.
And so we're excited to get into that.
So what have been your numbers so far from when you started?
So it's kind of cool because now it's 2022. So in 2021, I do the exact number. It was somewhere between 250 to 300.
So for revenue,
it was almost 300,000.
It was like $250,000, in revenue that we did just this last year.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace.
That's fantastic. So that's about above $20,000 per month in revenue. Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. Now, how were the margins? You can give me a range, but from like I've been in this game for a while, like 4 years or something. And back then people used to say, oh, it's saturated. And we would get like 10% margins or 15%. But how were your guys' margins?
Anywhere between 30 to 50%.
That's incredible. Yeah. That is insane because those are margins that you get in your own product, right?
Actually, those are better, almost better than product.
Yeah, those are margins that one would get if they invested money in developing their own company. And even then, a lot of companies don't make 50%. They don't bring that home to their bottom line. So that's pretty insane. That's amazing. And that's one of the reasons we built Fbmfox also, was because just like you guys, I kind of had some backlog where was selling on eBay, I was selling on Amazon. And then when I started selling on Facebook, I realized that there was just so much opportunity, and this was so still brand new and in its infancy stages, where you can drop ship a product and make incredible margins. And not only that, but you can make it in like a few hours. Your products will sell in a few hours after you list them. So, I can second whatever you guys have done. And a lot of people listening to this who've worked with Facebook Marketplace could probably relate to the things you guys have faced, which is amazing. Everything is pretty much nice until the problems occur in business, right? So, in business, there's always problems, and there's a saying that says more money, more problems. So some of the big problems that we get asked about, or that have been trending, one of them has been the low views problem, right? So people say that they start their Facebook account, things go well, and then all of a sudden, like, they have low views or zero views, and then they have a lot of views and then zero views. So, you guys are kind of the masters at this. So how do you solve that problem?
I would say that probably about 25% of the people who tell us that they're having low views, when I dig into it with them a little bit further to try and help them out, I discover that a lot of times people just haven't followed Facebook's directions. Facebook will be asking for them to do something. Maybe they haven't seen it. Maybe they didn't notice that Facebook is doing this. Provide some more information or anything like that. Also, obviously, metrics has a huge thing to do with it. Some people don't realize that certain things that you do or don't do will have an impact on the amount of views that you get. And so you really just have to play by Facebook's rules. And, we've learned the hard way how to play by Facebook's rules, because Facebook's not always very forward with what those rules are. And so it's really taken us a lot of trial and error to get to the point where we have a good understanding of what to do to be able to avoid those issues.
Yeah, and something that we've noticed just by like looking at the whole of like people we've helped along their journey with Facebook dropshipping is you will hit roadblocks. Like we have had our accounts shut down numerous times. I mean, December, like 2 of our shops were deactivated because of I'm sure if you guys were doing shops, they had this announcement like until 2022, which we're here now. So yay. We're going to shut down shops. We don't know why they did that. I'm sure they have all their reasons. They probably just got like overwhelmed with whatever the reason is. And so we were impacted by that. But one thing we've learned is you have to be flexible, and you have to be able to shift. And when you can do that, like, we still had a good month in December. I mean, not what we were projecting. We were hoping to do, 5 times that because of December sales. But you have to come at it knowing you're going to have issues. But when those issues come up, there's always a solution, and there's always a way around it. Like, we've gone 2 weeks back in like March with no sales. For 2 weeks, we had no sales. And a lot of people around us had the same problem. But guess what? They all quit. This isn't like, they put their 3 hands up. This isn't worth it. And I totally get that. But we're like, no, we've got to push through this and figure out how to get around this block. And when we did, we can sit here today and say we did $250,000 in revenue because we didn't give up. And after like interviewing several of people we've helped, the common denominator is the people who don't give up are the people who have success in this dropshipping world. But just know you're going to have issues. You're going to have problems. And like Dustin said, we don't always know Facebook's rules, but it's just about trial and error. So, the low views, it's probably something wrong with your ad account, or you did something against their violation. You need to delete those products. And that's why having a system and structure is so important, so that you are on top of that immediately, so your account doesn't sit in a bad standing for very long.
The list of ways we've discovered that you can get Facebook not to like you is very long. So to give somebody a cut and dry answer, this is the reason why, usually requires a little more digging, or at least allowing them to see a list of reasons so that they can have a process of elimination themselves.
Sounds good. Yeah. I've heard all of the things you've said, I think are valid. Some people just have a lot of random products that are kind of making their metrics bad. Some people just have a bad ad account. They don't verify their business. It could be a million different reasons. What about the suspension problems? So it seems like every once in a while, Facebook will just suspend people, and they don't know why, and no one knows why, but it kind of just happens. So what is your take on that, and how have you guys navigated suspensions? And like, if your account has gotten suspended, how fast have you gotten it back? How have the payments been, and all of that stuff?
So in terms of suspensions, I think the worst that ever happened to us was this actually happened twice, where Facebook said you are permanently banned from Facebook, like you may never be here again. But the crazy thing is, one of those times, what was it, the next day?
The next day, yeah.
You know, this is where the mindset thing comes in, guys, because Rachael didn't give up then. She appealed it. She contacted support, and then it was the next day our Facebook was right back up again.
And there was a time that it was my personal one was down for a month, and every single day I emailed in and to appeal it, and they're like, no, you were permanently banned. But that's another thing that happens like as you grow in what you're doing, because like 2 months before that, they had said I was permanently banned and I wasn't. And so I knew, like, the first time they said I was permanently banned, I was like a meltdown, like, I'm never going to be able to get on Marketplace again. But then I was like, okay, well, that's not true, because I was back in the next day. But this next time it like took more work to like get it back, and I got it back. And that's the importance of like diversifying. And now like with shops, it's a totally different game. You can have multiple shops if you set it up correctly. You know, whenever we had a few of our shops shut down, we had other shops that weren't shut down. And that's what's so beautiful about shops. You're not banned like you are like on Marketplace.
As long as you set it up right.
Yeah, you have to make sure you do it correctly, or else you'll run into more problems. But
yeah, suspensions are kind of like mental like warfare. It really sucks because I've sold on many platforms, and I've pretty much faced a suspension on all of them. But the thing is, you have to realize that like we as sellers have to put ourselves in the shoes of like Amazon, eBay, Facebook, right? So these companies are trusting you to deliver products to their customers, and they're paying you, in your case, it was $250,000, right? Over a year in payments. Like, that's a lot. So, they need to make sure every single thing is verified. Everything is good. If they release a new policy, they need to ensure that you're working with that policy. So if you're selling in e-commerce, no matter what you're doing, FBA or, selling your own physical products or even drop shipping, bans in the long run are inevitable. And I think, just as Rachael said, initially everyone's like, oh my God, like they have this mental breakdown, and they question their decisions in life. But eventually everyone gets back in it. And it's like, you just have to be not sensitive when that happens. Because I personally was, and I regret it, because I was like, oh, if I just appealed 10 times, I could have gotten it back, and everything could have been good. But I'm sure you guys have many more tricks up your sleeve regarding these suspensions. So the next problem is some people say that sales dry up on certain accounts, or it's been a lot of chatter, a lot of rumors, where they say, okay, I have a lot of sales on these new accounts, and then like a month in or 2 months in, the sales are lower. Or I had sales a lot back in March, but now they suck, right? So how do you prevent this? How do you adjust this? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I think, again, the biggest correlation we found was your ad account. Like your personal, there was like this huge aha moment. When I get excited about things, I get like really excited about things. And I was like running into Dustin. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just like clicked on this button, and like I see something that makes sense now. And this was like back when shops was not a thing. But on your personal marketplace, whenever you like boost a listing and things like that, that's all stored in your personal ad account. And I didn't even know that existed. I'd already sold over $100,000. I didn't even know this existed. And I discovered, and I was like, look, I have like 60 red dots on my ad account. No wonder my account's been getting suspended recently, because I was going through like the season of like, I kept getting suspended. I didn't know why. And I was like so confused. And then I started asking my other friends who they had recently been suspended, like, hey, click on this button right here. And they're like, oh my goodness, I have like 10 things that are flagged that go against your policy. So moving that to shops now, there's a huge correlation with your metrics and your your ad account and your sales, like a huge correlation. So that's like the number one thing. Like if you're not getting good sales, like check your metrics, check your ad account. And in addition to that, are you consistently listing? Like it guys, it only takes one product to make a lot of money off of. And that's why you just can't give up. You got to like continue to list. There are seasons. There are times when our shops are doing amazing, and then there are times that they're not doing so great. There are seasons, but if you just be consistent, you'll see success.
Sounds good. So you said you were using Facebook Marketplace, then you moved over to shops recently. Is that correct? And why did you decide to do that?
So we actually diversified into shops. We never really stopped marketplace. But that being said, Facebook has really alluded to the fact that shops is the future. That marketplace is going to eventually become more like a Craigslist platform, like it was intended to be. So we see shops as being a long-term business. Marketplace is still going strong, though. There's plenty of people selling well just on marketplace. But shops is newer. There's not as much information out there about how to do shops the right way. And so we've spread into both of them, and it really is good to be diversified in that way.
Yeah, I think using both sales channels are a very good idea, because they're not correlated, like they're not connected. So if you get a suspension on one, you can still sell on the other, and vice versa. So it's almost like two platforms. And if you have both, it's like more power to you, right? So far we've talked about your journey over the past year. We've talked about your family, your automation, your incredible revenues with profit margins. Have you guys ever decided to package this up and kind of sell it? Because I think a lot of this info could be very knowledgeable. I think we've only spoken, it could be very valuable. Like we've only spoken for probably 20 minutes, and I want to keep asking you more things. So have you guys ever decided to tell people about the stuff you're doing, or share this high level info?
Yeah, we actually kind of going back to Rainmakers, like I just like started sharing my journey in our community, and it kind of turned into like, we knew nothing about marketplace when we first started, right? And so we had no intentions of teaching other people. But again, when I get excited and passionate about something, I can't keep my mouth shut. And so I like started telling my friends and people around us, and they started doing it, and they started making money, and they started making like a lot of money. And I think one of our friends, they made like $100,000, like
Bought a brand new car,
like really,
Wow.
really quickly. And so
Yeah.
I just like started getting super excited about it. And then someone asked me like, hey, can you put some videos together about this Facebook drop shipping? And so I was like, yeah, I can do that. And so I had no microphone or computer or like camera. And so, but we started like doing these videos, and Dustin actually wasn't really that involved into this whole thing until, because he was working his normal job until he finally quit his job, and we were like making more money than his job was paying him. And we're like, okay, we can do this. So initially it was just all me. And then I just started teaching people, and we had like a course. And until recently, when shops rolled out, just like this month, we now have our own course that we're actually going to start promoting. So we don't have a student on this one specifically yet. We were working like an entire month of December to make it amazing. Dustin is incredible. He has some amazing talents, really focusing on the 10-minute workday, because initially I was teaching people how to do it, but they were like, man, I love doing it, but I can't spend 4 hours a day doing this. I have little kids at home. So yeah, to answer your question, we actually do have a course that is rolling out. We're super excited about it, but I wouldn't call it a course. I would call it more a community, a place to help other people get to that 10-minute workday.
So you guys said you kind of just helped family and friends and had kind of like a private, you guys made videos before and you kind of told people to watch them and stuff like that. Because I would imagine if you're helping, people in a community, like they would constantly message you and making
Yeah.
videos or, even YouTube. This is one of the reasons we started the YouTube channel. It just helps where people can go to one place and get the knowledge as many times as they want. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I had to like shut off my Facebook Messenger because I got so many messages. And I love helping people. It's a passion of mine, but I mean, I physically can't spend all day. I mean, going back to like the 10-minute workday. So yeah, this will be all grouped together, all of our information into one amazing spot. And Dustin can share a little bit more about, we haven't really talked much about how we got to the 10-minute workday. And that's like the most important key to it.
So yeah, with 10-minute workday, we've been able to accomplish this because of virtual assistants, but not just because of virtual assistants. There's all kinds of people who hire virtual assistants for Facebook dropshipping and things like that. But having it set up in a way where anybody can take this in a kind of a copy and paste system where they can see, the exact structure that Rachel and I have created, the policies we have in place, the strategies we use for product research, for how to safely let a VA access your account without getting banned, without getting your shop shut down because of that. We have learned those things. And so we've put that all into one place and we packaged it into a program called the 10-Minute Workday Blueprint. And that's just part of our course. Our course is called Shop Secrets. And then I guess you would say the umbrella, the company per se, is 10-Minute Workday. So
when is it going to be out? Is it already like packaged up or is it in process, or when is it going to be out to the public basically?
Yeah, it's ready now. It's ready now.
Oh,
so
okay.
We just haven't turned the ads on yet. I'm working through the ad process.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, initially, like we just started doing a family and friends. We had like a marketplace course that we put together for a company, and so I think we've actually had over 600 students, but now we're, doing this on our own so that we didn't like, when you work with other people, sometimes you have to say what's on their agenda.
Right.
And our heart is we want other people to have success and have the freedom to give them resources and tools. We're not tied to any one thing. Like hey, this is how we did it, and this is how you can do it too. And then Dustin's created his own resources. Again, it's all about systems and process to get to that 10-minute workday. If you don't have, you can just go hire a virtual assistant, but that is not going to get you to a 10-minute workday. That's going to set you up for more problems. We've helped a lot of people who their entire shop was completely screwed over because a lot of virtual assistants, they're not familiar with Shops. They think Shops is an integration between Shopify, and that will just wreck you. If you try to do like a Shopify integration with Marketplace, it's not going to work. And so just doing it the right way.
And it's difficult to find virtual assistants who are skilled enough to be able to take your shop and run with it. Mm-hmm. So the training we put together really can take anyone, and even a virtual assistant who's never done Facebook dropshipping before, take them from doing nothing to being basically an intermediate to expert level where they can just go with it and you don't have to spend weeks and weeks training them on how to do it the right way.
I know right off the bat, like a lot of people ask us for, step-by-step things like that. They ask us what sources should they use, where should they find VAs, and mm-hmm. I always like to point them to the right resources. And I would think a lot of people would like to join your program or look into seeing if it's a good investment for them. So do you guys have like a coupon or like a flyer that I could plug? Like if you guys have
we'll definitely give you a coupon code. Can I share my screen just to show you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Kind of, let me pull it up real quick so you guys can see. So yeah, if you go to the 10-minute workday, what we've put together, and I'll just like go over this pretty quickly, but you can look this up if you're interested and read about it. But we have our full shop secret course. This is just going to teach you step by step how to open up a shop properly, how to do that. And sometimes it can take a little while for your shop to get approved. But the amazing thing is you can do Facebook dropshipping while you're waiting for that to get approved. We also have the whole like hands-off implementing our automation system, which is going to be the systems and processes that you need to get your shop automated. We obviously have like the free traffic, which is going to be the Facebook marketplace. That's where you get your free traffic from. So how to connect it to that, your shop has to be connected to that. What we're really excited about, because this is actually probably this is probably like point number one, personal coaching. So we learned through community, and that is so important and so valuable. We would not be sitting here today had we not have people come alongside us. We would have given up the first roadblock we hit, the first, difficulty we ran through. So we're going to give you personal coaching, or actually more like group coaching. Every single week, we're going to have Q&A calls that you're able to jump on a Zoom call with us. It'll usually be me or Dustin or one of our, we have coaches that we've certified that we've walked through this whole process with. And we're going to, answer your questions that you have. This is not going to be outdated. Like if Facebook changes a rule tomorrow, we're going to be on top of that, and we can address that in those calls. So we're also going to give you the step-by-step trainings for marketplace. So if you're waiting for your shop, or you just want to add another, diversify to marketplace dropshipping, we also have step-by-step training for that. And then the key to never spend personal money, we are going to show you how to spend zero money on inventory costs while making profits on your first sale. And so that's just like a strategy of like knowing how to leverage your money to where you don't have to take it out of your pocket. And then we have our copy and paste virtual assistant training and procedures to protect your time and profits. This is just going to be, again, access to our virtual assistant training. So it's basically, like Dustin said, copy and paste. You hand it over to your virtual assistant, and it's tailored to them to walk them through how to manage your shop. And it's very, very in-depth, teaches them everything they need to know. And then we also have a virtual assistant group. So what's really cool about this is usually people find virtual assistants on Fiverr, or there's several other websites you can do it. But the bad part about that is you have to pay Fiverr every time you use them, or if you use an agency, you have to pay them. So we actually have direct connections to where your virtual assistant might only cost $3 to $5 an hour, because you're not having that. You let go of the middleman. You don't have the middleman. You don't have to pay. And then what's really cool is we have the on-demand 24 access in your pocket. So we have an app that our course is going to be on, that you can watch the course from your phone, like an app on your actual phone. And then we have several bonuses here. I don't have to go through all of them. Oh no, you saw the price. But like I said, we'll definitely give you a discount code. We can give Fbmfox users $500 off. Yeah. So we'll definitely send you that code. Dustin can send that.
Yeah. I'll make the code Fbmfox.
There you go.
That's
easy enough.
Yeah, that's perfect. Can you go over bonus number 3 there, the hottest products?
Yeah, so this is a really cool one. So we have a process to find hot selling items. Now, disclaimer, just because it's a hot selling item for someone else does not mean it's going to be a hot selling item for you. That's why we do 100 of them. So we're not like saying, hey, if you put this in your shop, you're going to sell it. Just being totally transparent and upfront with you there, but you have a better chance of selling it if it's already selling. And so we're going to give you 3 months free subscription to that. So it's our hot selling products. So if you want to continue that, it's $99 a month. If you wanted to continue that, if it's like working for you. So basically your first 3 months, every single month, we're going to send you 100 hot selling products in a spreadsheet. And we haven't talked about Fbmfox enough on this call. It's been game changer for our business, for our shops. where you can just take those URLs and copy and paste them into your shop
Right.
in like seconds.
Yeah. Oh man, so much work with Fbmfox because you can just paste all those URLs in. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a cool bonus. And then bonus 2 is Dustin has a bunch of tools that he has worked tirelessly so many hours on, more than 10 minutes a day on to develop. And it's going to be given to you. And then also 12-month access to our community, our mastermind. And, this is a new community we're growing. And so now like, if you can be on the start of something awesome, like we want you a part of this. If you have the heart and the mindset to achieve great things, we want you to be a part of our community for sure. And, if you total all this up, we only spend 10 minutes a day on our marketplace, but we do spend countless hours working to help people better themselves so that they only have to work 10 minutes a day. And really the value of this is definitely over $14,000. But obviously we're not going to let you guys pay that. So with the Fbmfox code, you can literally get it for $997, which is an amazing price for everything included. And just to be a part of a community that we hope will be the best community out there for this. But yeah, look our website up. You can listen to testimonials and stuff like that from people we've helped.
Yeah. Firsthand, I've been dealing with Dustin and Rachel, and it's been a while that we've been talking, a couple months. And I was always amazed at all the value that they have to offer, and they're always on top of things. So they might work 10 minutes a day in their selling businesses, but when it comes to helping the people that they care about or rely on them in terms of information or software, this and that, they're always there to help. I've had conversations with Dustin at like 2 a.m. in the night where we're just like trying to help Fbmfox users basically solve problems, right? So these guys, they're literally always there, and that's why I'm excited that they're releasing a program like this. So one of my favorite things about their programs as they were going into it was their 100 top selling products, because that is an amazing service, because that almost guarantees you sales. Like that's the closest to guaranteeing you sales, right? Because if you put 100 products up in your store and like half of them sell once a week, like you're guaranteed 50 sales a week, and you can easily make thousands of dollars a month with like 50 sales a week. So throughout that entire offer, like my favorite part was probably that. And that's probably my biggest sell, along with the community. So these guys are great people, and like your community reflects like your personality, and I'm sure their community will be just as nice as them and just as helpful as they are. So that's fantastic. So how has, you said Fbmfox helped you in your business?
Oh yeah.
Just two last things. Just elaborate on how Fbmfox has helped you, because I want some shine on that factor. And then also, what are your future goals with e-commerce?
Fbmfox has more than saved us money. Just the money savings even on our costs for our VAs alone, and VAs aren't even that expensive. Fbmfox has definitely paid for itself. And what I really love is the potential of the bulk uploader. To be able to bulk upload products to your shop will take you from a new seller to a seasoned seller at least 10 times faster, just because you can get your stuff up there so much faster.
Yeah, like I mean, for the first year, I literally did every single listing manually. And whenever I was introduced to, you can literally take hundreds of items and in minutes upload them to your shop, that was the biggest game changer for us ever.
Yeah. So when you put those updates out, Danish, man, we were excited. Yeah. I mean, that was huge for us personally, and for a lot of other people.
And then I think honestly, the biggest thing, and that's why we're having this conversation, we wanted to connect with you, is just because you welcome issues. And that was just like shocking. Like Dustin, there'd be an issue and I'm like, oh, don't bother Danish with that. Like that just like is going to overwhelm him. But you're like, no, I want to know the problems of the software, because you fix them, or your team, whoever, I'm sure you're the brains behind it.
Right.
But that was game changer for us. That's like, we can stand behind you because we can trust that as Facebook changes, because it changes rapidly, we can trust in this software that is going to update and give us what we need. And it's not going to take months to get those changes. Like, it's almost like next day you're like, hey, I rolled that out, or, in a couple of days, which is just so incredible.
Yeah, that's the goal. Thank you for that. Your future goals for e-commerce.
Yeah. You want to share that?
Our
I can,
future goals?
our future goals.
Yeah. Well, I think, just continuing with the shops, continuing to scale it. What's amazing with shops is you can get multiple shops. You can, take it from 1 time to 2 times to 3 times your sales through that. There's, there's other things you can do that are a little bit more advanced to be able to scale bigger, faster, because it does seem like a shop can get, to a certain extent, a little bit of a cap on it from Facebook, but we've actually figured out ways to get around those. So, just continuing to grow that. But, as we've moved more into this space of teaching people how to do what we've done, my goal has not been to personally be the world's best Facebook seller, but to be the world's best teacher of Facebook selling who will make you successful. So I think in that way, our future has shifted a little bit. But I don't see any reason for why we would stop doing Facebook Marketplace. And if it ever became no longer a good opportunity, then we would move on to something else.
Yeah, and just like to show you the potential, if you just sold 10 items a day at $10 profit margin, that's $3,000 a month profit. Could you imagine doing that with working 10 minutes a day? Like, getting everything set up to where your system, your VAs are doing everything according to the process, and you get an extra $3,000 a month. I mean, that's like an amazing return for such little work. And like I said, it's not always a smooth sailing. It can take work to get there. But if you multiply that, let's say you had 3 shops performing 10 sales a day at $10 profit. I mean, that's $9,000 a month. So you can see how quickly it can accumulate and how you can grow that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one question, I'm sure I get a kickback for every time an Fbmfox member signs up. So what we'll do is, just help the users, right? Because Dustin, Rachel, and I, we always talk about this, where we're in this thing because we get fulfillment out of seeing people succeed through our help, right? One of the, I love it when people say, oh, I made so much money using your software, right? It's very fulfilling. So what we're gonna do is you'll get $500 off of their course, which is fantastic. But then you'll also get Fbmfox's $50 plan for free for 1 month, right? So
that's awesome.
If you're a beginner, you don't even have to worry about the free trial. Just use our coupon code and send us a screenshot. Tell us you used our coupon code in their course. And once you have that, we will give you Fbmfox free for 1 month for 500 products. And that should be, more than enough to get you hit the ground running and actually make a return on your investment as soon as possible. So yeah, that's what we can do from Fbmfox's end. And I think it's going to help a lot of people out, especially during the new year, for sure.
Yeah. And again, and we'll send you that code and everything, but just for everyone listening, don't pay full price for the course. Use the coupon
Fbmfox.
Yeah. So that should be pretty easy to remember. Fbmfox.
I'm going to have that ready tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And, I remember, purchasing a course a very long time ago. It was a $10 course, but I kind of regret buying a $10 course, because I've noticed the more you spend on a course, the more time it saves you. So the whatever you pay for is kind of what you get. So if you're just their hot products alone, I think it will be well worth it, right? And just the Fbmfox free for a month, that'll be well worth it. Whatever strategy you want to do, all of these things are just well worth it. And I think this package is just phenomenal. So I guess any closing remarks that you guys had?
Not really. I mean, this is a great call, super cool. We love sharing about our journey just because it's almost like we're living in a dream to be able to
Yeah.
do this, and like Facebook Marketplace really was that game changer for us. And just want to encourage you, like if you're listening and if you are a Facebook seller and you're looking for a way to save time, because that's where we were at, we were like spending way too much time on it, then we would love to, come alongside you and help you get to where you're not spending as much time. Or if you've never done drop shipping before, it's definitely worth checking out and getting into, just because there can be so much potential there.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Dustin and Rachel, for everything that you guys have done. Not only for, in this call, but just for Fbmfox in general, and, just everything. It's been a pleasure knowing you guys, and I'm sure we're going to do a lot of great things together in the future. If you guys want to check out their program, links in the description below. You get $500 off using our coupon code FBMFox for the 10-minute workday program. And you also get Fbmfox for free for 1 month if you join their program, and just reach out to us, send us a screenshot, and we'll know if you've used their program also. If you haven't tried Fbmfox and you're already a dropshipper, like you already know this thing, you haven't tried Fbmfox yet, 7 days free. You can cancel anytime. It's only $29 a month. You get research, all these amazing tools. We have a million videos on it, so check it out. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.